in this video, I want to talk about multiple things. And first, we're going to talk about the business class versus economy class. What's the benefits and why sometimes you should actually fly business rather than economy. And I'm going to start giving you the prime example. I've done a very quick research, but I know the market, so it's easy. So Kingston to Toronto, for example. As you can see today, on that day, the 12th of April, so the business class ticket will be, more than twice the price of an economy ticket. But if you want to travel, for example, on the 17th of April, the prices are almost identical. The reason why is sometimes in business class, the business class is empty, especially when it's a tourist destination or when it's a destination where the locals, are always looking for the cheapest tickets because they're international workers or something like that. Like Philippines is a prime example of that as well. The economy class ticket is always full to the brim, and I travel very often alone in business class. So this is one of the reasons. So for $150, then here you can make the decision whether or not you're going to travel in business. And I like Air Canada for this because they really show very well. So if we click on economy right here, you're going to see right away that the standard ticket, okay, $615, has no luggage. So check-in luggage for a fee. You don't have access to the lounge. You don't have any benefits. You collect less miles, and essentially it's going to cost you more. If you were to get a flexible ticket, you're going to get all the way to $674, which now we're less than $50 from your business class ticket. And you get 2 luggage here, yes, granted. So that's another thing too. You see the difference? So basically for $50 more, you would have 2 check-in luggage included for free. The advantage here, each luggage is $150 each. So now $300 saving right there, just because you paid $50 more. And you get better seats as well on the plane, and you'd get a meal. If you go in business class, so business class would have 2 free luggage included. Of course, you'll have a much better seat, much better food. The seats are business class seats, right? So they're much larger, much better. The service is going to be better. You're going to have access to the lounge. You're going to have priority boarding. You're going to have priority luggage handling. So this is all the advantages you're going to have. You're going to have alcohol included as well. It's 150 miles, 150% on your miles. So if you were to accumulate, let's say 3,000 miles, you'll accumulate 4,500 miles, which is amazingly good. And you have 2 luggage at 70 pounds instead of 2 luggage at 50 pounds, or 32 kilos instead of 23 kilos. And the difference in amount is only, depending what you choose, about $130, $140. So you really want to check that out. Now, I always check both the economy class and the business class because sometimes the difference can be very, very, very big. Like for example, you could have like let's say, I don't know, Kingston to Miami, which is only an hour and a half flight, but the business class is $1,500 and the economy class is $200. So obviously, at that moment, I will fly in economy because I'm not gonna spend $1,300 for an hour and a half. It's ridiculous. And even if I had luggages, it would still not come up to the same amount. The other way around is also true. I will check the business class if I was planning on traveling in economy in a short flight, because very often you could have business class tickets that are cheaper than economy ticket. The reason for that is because in tourist areas, like let's say Montego Bay, Tunisia, and I had that experience a few months ago in Tunis where I was flying back to Lebanon, and from Tunis to Beirut, the economy ticket was twice as much as the business class ticket, because I'm assuming that at that time the algorithm were going, well, the economy class is full, we have 2-3 seats left, so these seats are going to go for a lot of money if you want to travel today. However, the business class was empty, and it was actually cheaper than the economy ticket by, about half. Like $600 for economy, $300 for business, which was so cheap. So I was really happy that I've, looked into that. And again, look a few days before, a few days after, look at one stop, no stop. Sometime, to be honest with you, on the long haul, if you add like 3 hours on your trip, but you pay half the price of the ticket, what is worth to you? I always calculate this by hours. I always put it on an hour sort of rate. So if I travel to, I'm willing to pay $100 per hour on a flight. So if I travel to Hong Kong and the business class ticket back and forth, so 32 hours is like $4,000. That's $115, $120 an hour. I'm happy with that. If I'm in economy and the economy ticket is, let's say, $65 an hour, am I willing to spend twice as much to be in business on a long haul? The answer is absolutely yes. But if it was only an hour and it was $400 an hour, for example, because the difference in price ticket, then no, I'm not willing to spend $400 per hour to be in business class, especially if it's a single cabin, meaning that basically the business class is just in the front and you have a bit of food, but it's the same seat. Maybe you don't even have lounge access, because in some places like in Jamaica or something, they don't even have agreement with the launch, so you even have to pay for your launch by yourself, so it's not worth it. They don't have priorities for business, they don't handle business passengers very well, so don't bother. So just look into it, and like I said, I reduce it to a per hour of flight, and that gives me my determination whether or not I should use economy or business. Also, if I have luggage or no luggage, and if it's a long haul, I prefer obviously being in business because you get then refreshed. So always check both, and you should do too.